Hi, this is Brian David Marshall from MagicTheGathering.com and the Tournament Center. I'm here on day one of the 2007 Magic the Gathering World Championships. Yesterday, we had the opening ceremonies and the 2007 Pro Tour Hall of Fame induction. We had 5 great players inducted into the Hall of Fame, and after the ceremonies, we caught up with each of them and asked them for their impressions about being inducted into the Hall of Fame, their memories of their first Pro Tour, and to look back on their 10-year careers.
Well, it's kind of a twofold honor. First, there's the actual honor of it, the idea of, I am now considered one of Magic's greats. They've enshrined me into the historical record. It's great to know that your fellow players, your fellow historians, the people who remember, look back and say, Svi was one of the great players, and Svi deserves this. And Svi is a legend of the game, and that's great. And it also has the practical side, which is, I can now show up at any event at any time without having to worry about being qualified. And that's actually a close second.
It feels amazing. It feels nice to be recognized for what I've done. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into the game. I hope I can show up at pretty much every Pro Tour, at least in the coming year and probably for a long while. I really miss my friends and I really miss playing.
It's a very hard question to answer.
Well, when I heard about the Hall of Fame, I really wanted to get into it. I kind of figured that I would have a very good chance, but the first 2 classes I missed because I wasn't eligible, and I was really hoping that nothing would go wrong, and fortunately it turned out to be okay, and I got voted in, and I can't say how happy I am about it. I'm really looking forward to actually playing a couple of events. I don't have the time to qualify right now. Like I don't have the time to go to the qualifier circuit or to go to GPs. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to play at least the European Pro Tours, so it's a very nice thing.
It's awesome. I mean, it's just great. I don't know. There's not a whole lot more to it than that, right? I mean, I sort of knew all along this was the ultimate vindication of sort of the life that I chose for myself. And, standing up there, you got everybody applauding. My only regret, I should have started the standing O for Kai. Like, if I'm in the front row, if I just stand up, everybody stands up. I should have done that. I don't know. That's the thoughts in my head right now.
It's interesting that at the Pro Tour qualifier, where I qualified for my first Pro Tour, the head judge, Tony Perotti, who I'd known for some time, actually said I'd do really well in the Pro Tour if I made it. And I didn't believe him. I thought these Pro Tour players were these amazing, demigods who were just so much better than I could ever be. And that I was just some guy who hung around neutral ground and played a bunch of Magic. And then suddenly, my Wololith deck goes, I qualify, and suddenly I'm heading off to a Pro Tour with a Brian David Marshall deck called How to Keep an Idiot Busy. Because they had qualifiers at very odd times back then, so I only had 2 weeks to book a flight, find a deck in a format I hadn't really played, and go compete on the Pro Tour. And I didn't do very well on the first Pro Tour. I ended up going 4-4.
His first Pro Tour was 1998 World Championships, and he was in the national teams. And he matched against John Finkel, and he beat Finkel, but his team lost.
Like I was extremely nervous getting in there. I played a lot those days, and I felt really well prepared. And coming there, I still saw all the stars I've been reading a lot about, and I was, I was a bit anxious. And then I started playing, and I felt like I actually had a chance, and that was really cool feeling. Actually, feeling that I could compete with them and beat some of them, and it was an awesome tournament. I made a lot of friends, and I hung out in Seattle for a couple of more days and had a great time. It was the best tournament ever. And I placed top 64, which I was extremely happy with, actually making money on my first Pro Tour.
I think my first Pro Tour was the limited event in Rye Brooks outside of New York. Actually, I figured that I wouldn't have a chance to be doing decent in the main event. So I asked Wizards if they can just let me play in the juniors event, which was the last event of the junior circuit ever. And I played in that one, and I did quite okay. I missed top 8 barely.
The car deck. So I'm driving the car, driving my grad school car. I've got Eric Lauer, Mike Turian, Dan Silberman in the car. I'm committed to the Necro deck. Silberman is maybe playing the Necro deck, and Turian essentially panics. Lauer panicked a couple days before, decided to play Counterpost, and Turian has no idea what he wants to play. This is the first Pro Tour for Team CMU. We'd all essentially met to play test for this event. Dan and Mike are freshmen, and Eric and I had met over the summer, and well, we've been running the PTQ circuit together. And essentially, Lauer designs a deck for Turian in the car. Like, as we're driving across Indiana, Lauer's designing is like Stone Rains, put Stone Rains in there, and Water Spout, Mike nailed a Water Spout Gin with Stone Rains. So it's just that in the car, driving 8 hours to get to this event, people are trying to figure out what they're playing, and it's awesome. Turian top 32. People don't even remember that. In the car deck, built literally as we traveled across Indiana, Turian puts up a top 32. So it was just, most of my memories of the Pro Tour are the friends, the social, the camaraderie, the debating strategies and talking over plays and trying to figure out what you could have done better. That's what it's all about.
I was thinking I used to look like that, and I was thinking, is that how people really remember me? It's weird because there's a lot of things you want to be remembered for, and you feel really good about it. Your enthusiasm, your deck building, your work, your results, your writing, your contribution to the game. I don't know who really wants to be remembered because, like, oh, is that guy with the weird laugh, that crazy guy, that insane guy. It's kind of cool and it's kind of nice, but at the same time, it's never what you have in mind.
First of all, thank you very much. And everybody has a chance. I'm simply just a lucky guy.
Well, it's so many good memories. It feels strange to me still that I managed to do so well. I'm really happy I did, and I know, like I'm a bit uneven as a player. In periods I'm not very good, but in periods I know I am very good. But I'm not that cocky really. Like it's amazing to see all the results and remember all those great moments.
Well, if I had the chance, I would definitely do it again. I really enjoyed playing on the Pro Tour circuit. I think it was for 5 or 6 years that I just traveled through the world and played about every event that I could play in. Western Europe and America. I never went to Asian GPs, that was just too far. But it was a great time for me. I would repeat it if I got the choice. I would definitely do it again. I really enjoyed it. I can't stress that enough. I don't really know what to say anymore about it. It was the best time of my life so far, I think.
I don't know. I guess it was kind of everything I hoped it would be. You sort of you think about that moment of, and the acknowledgement that it represents, and I really like the way you got, a bunch of different perspectives, and, they all kind of lined up as this nice, coherent story that, it matched the way I think of myself, which felt pretty good. I don't know. It was just a neat thing to be a part of.